So I've struggled with going in and out of my faith my entire life, but it was probably 12 years ago. I had about everything had come crashing down on me. I had 2 kids in college. Enron had happened, so there was no more corporate work for comedians. The comedy clubs had just changed their entire business model. So guys like myself who weren't household names, they basically just cut us out of the roster. And I'd gone through an ugly divorce too and got audited by the IRS.
Wow.
And the IRS came to me and they said, we need like $7,200, which at the time could have been $1 million. I'd already borrowed from everybody. I was Byron at that point, just trying to shuffle the cards, trying to get the money in the house, right? And it was collapsing all around me. And then the IRS came and said that they were actually going to garnish my wages in the comedy clubs. And then I meet this lady in Tulsa, as a matter of fact, that became my wife eventually. So that's a good part of the story. But when we met, my life was in shambles, right? And she wanted me to go to lunch with her in Oklahoma City when I was doing the comedy club there. So I go to Oklahoma City. She comes over to the condo. We drive to the Macaroni Grill. And about 5 minutes into the dinner, we started hearing ting, 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 ting. And we walked out, looked outside, and it was biblical size hailstones beating my truck up. It was the one thing that I had left from my blue collar days. So I was the 5th guy signed with the blue collar tour. And the one thing that I bought was this beautiful truck that had no dirt on it. And now it's beat to holy hell. It really was. And so we drive the vehicle over to the condo. My wife now, but we were just dating. We went out on a date. Her vehicle not touched, 1.5 miles away. And I literally looked up and go, God, I don't know why you hate me. Why you keep insisting on beating me up. But I'm not gonna give up. And so I drove home and all the way back to Fort Worth, and I called my best friend. I said, Graylin, I got 1 car payment left on this truck. Now I gotta pay the IRS. Now it's beat, the windshields, everything's, and he goes, do you have 1 payment left? And I said, yeah. And he goes, make the payment. I said, what good does that do? He said, Bill, if you'll make the payment, they're gonna make out the check to you, okay? And I had no idea, and the lady came over and she walked around the truck. She said, I'll make out the payment to the body shop. And I said, I have a clear title. And she said, well, I'll make out the check to you. And I said, how much is it? $7,700.
Wow.
There was my miracle that I've been praying for. And when I allowed God just to do what, I had one thing left of value that I thought was a value. He knew that was the only way that I could get. And sometimes when you just get back to zero, that's all you need. And then we turned the corner, and the last 11 years have been absolutely incredible. We've done a CMT special and 2 Amazon Prime specials, and then me and Michelle's now been married for a little over 10 years, and so truly was a miracle. And when I get out of God's way, good things usually happen.